What's going on there, YouTube? So today we're going to go through a quick bleed build that I like running. And yeah, it has decent survivability, decent damage, and I run it on heroic content and it goes through it no problem. So yeah, we'll run a quick intro, show you some gameplay, and then we'll be right back to go over the build. So yeah, let's roll that intro.
Control point nearby. To all the true sons, progress resumed. Manual override required.
Okay, welcome back. So yeah, that was some just quick gameplay. And yeah, we'll go through the specialization, the build, and yeah, hopefully you guys put it together and give it a shot. So yeah, specialization, we're running the flamethrower just because I like the EMP grenades and the additional health that the striker shield provides. Main weapon, I'm running a FAMAS, and I put crit hit chance just so I could stay above the 50%. Talent, we're running Sadist, so it deals an additional 20% damage to bleeding enemies. The second part, the after 4 kills, apply bleed to next enemy you hit. Doesn't really matter too much, just from the chest piece we're running. And mods, I'm running crit hit chance, crit hit chance, crit hit chance, and round additional 20 rounds. Secondary weapon, I'm running the Scorpio, and that's just for the CC on the septic shock, but you can run whatever you would like. I was running an ACS with Sadist, SMG with Sadist, and yeah, the sidearm, it really doesn't matter, whatever you want to put on. This one's just kind of a placeholder. I don't really use it. Okay, so build-wise, we are running a 4-piece striker. So we'll start with our first piece, and we are getting the striker's battle gear 4-piece talent bonus. So we are gaining the 15% weapon handling, 15% rate of fire, and then the striker's gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. 1 stack lost per second between 0 and 50 stacks, and then 2 stacks lost between 50 and 100 stacks. On this one, we are running armor, crit hit chance with a crit hit damage mod. And then we will jump into the chest piece, which is the Ridgeway's Pride. So if you finished the summit and have done the project, you will have one of these 9 out of 10 chances just sitting in your stash. So I wanted to come up with something that actually utilized this a little bit. I just thought it was an interesting chess piece and wanted to give it a shot. So on this one, it's weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and I put an additional crit hit damage mod on. And the talent is Bleeding Edge. So shooting enemies within 15 meters applies bleed to that target. Repair 3 to 48% of your armor per second for every enemy that's bleeding within 15 meters. Repair strength per number of bleeding enemies. So one enemy is 3%, 2 enemies is 6%, 3 enemies is 12%, 4 enemies is 24%, and 5 enemies is 48%. So pairing it up with the backpack I'm about to show you is pretty nice. So Brand said it doesn't really matter too much. I'm just running Grupo for the crit hit damage. And on this one, I have weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and my last crit hit damage mod slot. So on this one, I put Creeping Death. So when you apply a status effect, it also applies to all enemies within 8 meters of that target. So that'll help you get to your 5 enemies bleeding within 15 meters of you pretty quick. So jumping into the holster, this is our second piece of striker. We're running weapon damage, crit hit chance. On our gloves, we are running armor, crit hit damage, and our knee pads are armor, crit hit damage. If you wanted a little bit more survivability, you could easily swap out the weapon damage on the holster and the backpack to armor. I just find I don't really need it too much. So all the numbers in the stats could be considerably better if you were shade level 1000. Yeah, but even if you're lower than what I'm at, you're not going to miss out too much. So for my shade levels, I maxed out my weapon damage and I'm working on my crit hit chance, but I could have an additional 20% crit hit damage when I do get that maxed out. So stat wise, we're running 55.8 crit hit chance and 122.4 crit hit damage. So it hits pretty hard. It is a pretty nice build. As long as you can keep bleed on enemies, you're going to constantly keep gaining your armor back. And The shield's not very strong. It's only sitting at 2.7 mil health, but it's enough to get you out and get you around. So it's not too bad. And then for my other skill, I'm just running a revive hive just for that kind of free life. And yeah, that's it. I'm sitting at 1.3 million armor, but yeah, for heroic content, it's more than enough. So yeah, if there's any other builds you'd like to see, just leave it down in the comments. I might even have one built currently that I can show you, run through it, show you some gameplay, or I'll put something together. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you in the next one.